Hey moms, it's Katie and Beth here with More Than a Mom for season 2. I'm so excited. We're back. As you know, the purpose of this podcast is to share with MOMnation, pretty much MOMnation. I mean, that's our audience, right, Beth?
Yeah. And anyone else interested, I mean.
And anyone else interested, exactly. Just the ideas, influence, resources that we are able to connect with through the group, through people that we meet, in the group that are experts in certain fields. So we have moms that are going through all sorts of things. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous to be a parent these days. You have to deal with so much. And so we have moms that write into us, into Beth and I, anonymously, and we find resources, we find experts in the field to help answer their questions. So that is the purpose of More Than a Mom. If you guys could please do us a favor, follow us, comment on whatever platform that you're listening to this show on. That would be really yes, that would be really, really helpful for us. And then if you are, especially if you're a member of MOMnation, any one of our now 6 states, which is really exciting. But if you are a member of MOMnation and you have a question you'd like to submit anonymously to the show, please do so at MOMnationUSA.com. Just go on over to the More Than a Mom podcast section, which is on the homepage, and you can go ahead and submit your question there. Also like to reach out and thank our sponsor, Team Evo AZ with eXp Realty, offering unmatched experience in customer service. Visit evoaz.com and be on your way to savings and overall real estate happiness. With that said, I would love to introduce my co-host, Beth Easton.
Hello.
There she is. And then our featured guest of the day, Miss Amanda Woodbury with Unravel Your Stress.
Hello.
There she is. I'm so excited to chat with you, Amanda. So let's get it on. Tell us what you do.
Awesome. So I am a mindset and crochet coach. So basically what I do is I help high achieving women and moms that are in business to reignite and refocus their brains by seeing tangible results through crochet.
This is very, very interesting to me because before meeting you, I didn't even know this is a thing.
Me neither.
Right? So we're going to talk about why this is a thing. But before we do that, can you tell us just a little bit about your background and how this all unfolded for you?
Well, the crochet background is much like most other people who get into crochet. I was a stay-at-home mom with 2 independent young babies, and well, they weren't really babies, they're toddlers. And I got bored and I didn't know what else to do. I came across some really old crochet things that were made by my grandmother, and that just kind of sparked the inspiration to learn how to crochet. And so fast forward a few years, in 2017, I started working on becoming a crochet instructor. And so I had to actually teach people. And during that process, I really realized how much crochet affects the mindset and how it really can literally save and change lives one stitch at a time. And that's when I started getting into the mindset thing. And that's really been my overall background into why I do what I do, is because I just have always been the type of person that loves to help people. And this is the way that I can do that and get crochet out there more often.
And make pretty things at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can we jump into the science of it a little bit? Just a brief overview of how you made that discovery and how sort of scientifically that makes sense.
Well, it kind of came across accidentally. Basically, I had a client that was and is still dealing with some depression. And so she started learning how to crochet as one of my test students. And she had a really, really dark moment where she was suicidal. And she was working on a blanket, and she was able to take that blanket and work on it row by row until her medication was able to kick in and to literally save her life. And the science of that basically is when you know how your brain has different parts, right? We all know that. So you have a creative side. Every brain in the universe of the earth has a creative side. So basically what happens is when you are overwhelmed and your brain is stuck on stress or overwhelm, or you just can't think clearly, when you activate that creative side of your brain, you're able to use more of it at a more intense purpose and an intense way. And so when you light up that creative side of your brain, you're able to see different perspectives of the situation. You're able to let go of things that you can't control. You're able to focus on things that you need to focus on. And that's where the crochet comes in, is that when you are focusing on the stitch, you're not thinking about anything else. So in a way, it is like a forced physical meditation.
I was going to say, it's meditation.
Whoa.
Isn't that fascinating, Beth?
Yeah, I'm like mind blown here.
I never would have guessed. So the world thanks you for your brilliance, Amanda.
Wow.
Well, what's weird is like, this isn't even like, I didn't create this information. Like, there are so many, I've done the research getting into, you know, as a crochet instructor and figuring out the why and what is this magic, this brain magic that is going on with crochet. And so I've literally gone into other crochet communities and I've literally asked, why do you crochet? Not how come you crochet, but literally, why do you crochet? And so many people come back and they say, oh, it's my stress relief. Oh, it helps me relax at the end of the day. It helps me focus. And it's like, why is nobody talking about this? It is such a healthy way to regain your self-love. And that's just what is so amazing about this. It's not just grandma's craft anymore. Grandma crocheted for a reason. It was her stress relief.
I was just thinking the same thing. Like, way back when, we didn't have all these mental health issues that we're seeing today, but we do see a decline in the creativity of ourselves and our children. And how much different would our mental health be if we were creative? Wow. Oh, I'm loving this.
Isn't it amazing? And then I imagine you also feel some sort of satisfaction of accomplishment when you've created something yourself.
Yeah. And there's definitely a right way and a wrong way to do this. And that's why I'm so dedicated to teaching both mindset and crochet in tandem, because what happens to a lot of people when they just, you know, mindset aside, when they're just learning how to crochet, they get so excited. They think, I'm going to make this baby blanket and I'm going to make this and I'm going to make that. And they're all big projects. But your brain doesn't work that way, right? So if you think about it, your brain has to know, in order for it to believe in yourself, in order to believe that you can accomplish something, you have to have the reward system lighting up constantly. So the mistakes a lot of beginners do is they start a really big project. And then, so yeah, they might learn that stitch, but their brain doesn't recognize that they learned anything. All of the brain is thinking about is, oh my gosh, this is so much. I have too much to work to finish. I gave myself this deadline. I'm not going to be able to finish this in time. And then it's a stress, and then it doesn't feel good. And then it's like, well, hook's done. I'm over. I'm not a crocheter. I can't learn this. And so the way I come in is I say, we're not even going to worry about projects until you get the foundation stitches down. Once you learn the beginner level, then you can start adding in projects. And we're talking small one-day projects only, nothing huge.
Like little doilies and things.
Actually, not doilies. Doilies are actually way more experienced than people think. Grandma makes it look easy. It's not easy. Not even in the least. So because they're very complicated. There are 4 levels of crochet. So there's the beginner level, There's the easy level, the intermediate level, and the experienced level. So doilies are going to be in that experienced level.
Really?
Really, yeah.
Wow.
So, and it doesn't matter how many years you've been crocheting. I've known women who've crocheted for 30 plus years, and they're barely in the easy level. And in my personal experience, I've only been crocheting for 6 years, and I'm in the experienced level. So it really is how much you put into it and how much you really, what you can execute in an effective manner is how you can determine how much what your level is. So that's why I really go into it. When I teach, I do not teach beyond the intermediate level. I really just go into an introduction of the intermediate level. And then once my client is done with me and we've worked through the mindset, they believe in their self, they've gone through the limiting beliefs, then they can really take on crochet and either stay where they are with their experience in a comfortable position, and that's totally fine. If somebody wants to stay in the easy level for the rest of their lives, there are thousands of things they can make in the easy level, and that's not a big deal. That's their personal decision. And if they want to continue to learn more and get better and better and better, that's their option. They have those tools to do that.
And it's probably not about what you make anyway. Okay. Yeah.
Well, okay. So no, it isn't. But as long as you're not, while you're learning, you're not doing the big projects. You want to keep it to the small projects. But yeah, once you're done with the program and you've got everything done and you have all the tools, then you can make whatever you want.
Awesome. So what are the biggest obstacles that you see moms facing over and over in terms of their mental health?
For me, what I've seen, the biggest obstacles really come down to two major obstacles. And really it's overwhelm and stress. And they kind of play on each other. Basically, if you think about it, what does a mom have to do? She's a chef, she's a chauffeur, she's a maid, she's, maybe even a school teacher if she does homeschooling. She's a referee. She's got all of these hats. And her plate is full, and they take on way too much, and then they forget that they need time to release that stress.
Right?
Because then it's like, oh, now I got to go to bed, and now I got to worry about everything I did wrong today, and then now I have to get up, and I have to start all over again. And it just goes on and on and on until they're so overwhelmed that they break down, and you are forced to put yourself in a meditation or a way to release everything.
Because your body will do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's horrible. And I've been there, and I've seen my friends be there, and it's awful. And we need, as moms, we need to stop doing this to ourselves. We need to find a way to rest and to relax and to relieve the stress. And when we get overwhelmed, and we literally mentally can't handle it, we need to know that it's okay to reach out to somebody.
Yeah.
We're not in it alone.
And it's not a sign of weakness. It's actually a sign of strength to reach out.
Absolutely.
Totally agree. What are your five best tips for helping moms through it?
Awesome. I love these because I love going over these. Okay, so first and foremost, I'm going to talk about my number one tip. And that is self-care. And I am so not talking about going to get your nails done, or right. I'm not talking about getting a tan on or getting your hair done. Those are amazing things to do for yourself, but they're temporary, right? Because what happens is you get so excited, you're going to go get your nails done, you're going to go have mom time, you're going to go talk to your salon, and then you get home and you look beautiful, but then you're right back where you left. And that stress just comes right back in. And what does that do for you? Yeah, you look great, but you're still stressed, right?
Right.
So the self-care that I'm talking about is actually finding a hobby that you can actually relieve stress in. And take the time. It can be 10 minutes a day. It can be 20 minutes a day. It could be 3 days a week. It's really getting down into your mind and releasing that tension, that stress, that overwhelm. And then my number 2 tip is to find a way to release your emotions. Women are emotional.
Yes, we are.
And if we don't release it, we're going to become momsters.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
I love that word.
Right?
Familiar with that.
Right? And then we explode, and then we have issues with relationships with our kids because our kids are just like, mom's a monster, rah. You know, and what you have to do is you actually have to release these emotions, right? So that could be, if you are an introverted type of person and you hold your emotions in, there's nothing wrong with that, but you need to find what it is for you that releases it. Do you need to journal it out? Do you need to go break something? That's, you know, you can go throw hatchets at a tree, or, you know, whatever deconstructive way to get that energy of emotions out. That is going to be better than exploding on everybody.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And number 3 tip is kind of plays into the community. You need to open up. And I understand for introverts, this is like the hardest thing to do in the world, but it's worth it. It is worth the uneasy feeling. You have to open up. You need to talk to somebody. It could be your best friend. It could be your partner. It could be a stranger. Probably not a stranger. That would be weird. But you just need to open up and talk about it, because guaranteed somebody has the experience and they've gone through it, or they are going through it. And as women, we are community. We love to gather. And that is so important as a mom, to release those emotions, to get that self-care, to open up and talk to someone about what you're going through. Another tip, my number 4 tip, is to make time for memories. And that's going to also release some of those chemicals in your brain, those endorphins, those serotonin. And I don't mean making memories by taking your kids to the park. That can be awesome, but you need to actually, especially if you're a busy mom and a woman in business, you need to set out vacation time and unplug and get grounded and make those memories with your family.
Mm-hmm.
Then when you're going through a struggle, you can look back at those and say, you know what, I remember feeling that happy. I want that happy again. How do I get that? And then your brain is going to be able to open up again, and you're going to be able to work through that issue and that struggle that you're going through.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
And my very last tip, number 5, is to, and this is the hardest one of all, it is to let go of what you can't control.
Yeah, that's big.
So hard.
It's very hard, but if you are able to find a way, even the small things, it comes back to choosing your battles, right?
Mm-hmm.
With you and your spouse, right? So letting go of things you can't control. And it could be anything from an argument that you can't do anything about their feelings. You can't change people, influence people to change for themselves, and letting go of what you can't control in situations with your employer or with your own business. You know, if you take on everything, and if you try to evaluate and worry and stress about everything, that's going to make everything else go out the window. So you have to be able to learn to start to let go of things that you can't control. That way you are able to focus on what you need for your own self-care.
Totally agree. I think that's my favorite tip right there. That is the best one, because honestly, if there's nothing you can do about it, why worry about it? It is what it is.
Yeah,
exactly.
You know, easier said than done, probably. Awesome, Amanda. Do you have anything coming up? Do you have anything you'd like to share with our audience, how they can connect with you? I know you've got a good little group going.
I do. I love my fun little group. It's so cute. It's so little. So if you're on social media, you can find me at on Facebook in my group, The Beginners Club. Just type that in and it'll pop right up. That's where I give a lot of my trainings, courses, tips, tricks, anything from mindset to crochet. I love teaching crochet in there. It's so much fun. And then if you're not into social media, you can also find me on my website. That's unravelyourstress.com. It's a brand new website. You can reach out to me there, read a little bit about me. I do have a new blog that I'm working on getting out there. There is one article so far that I'm super proud of. So yeah, that's really, and then I do have, you can find all my my coaching programs on there as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you again, Amanda. It's been a very, very eye-opening half hour, however long that was. I don't even know because it went by super fast. But thank you so much for being here with us today. Anything else you'd like to add, Miss Beth, before we go?
I just want to say thank you. This information has been incredible. And I am so excited to go check out your website and your Facebook group.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for having me here. This has just been an awesome thing. And you ladies are just, you guys rock.
Thank you so much. We feel the same. The feeling's definitely mutual. All right, ladies, until next time.
Bye.
Bye.